I always have mixed emotions when I see like legendary actors from the 60s or 70s and horse shit from the 80s. No, like seriously, how fucking broke was Christopher Lee in 1985 that he had to make this movie?
Yeah, this is definitely pre-Lord of the Rings. He hasn't got back into making that cash again. This is him certainly hurting.
It's kind of like when we saw Michael Caine in Jaws: The Revenge.
Yeah. Those guys were just trying to get extra houses at that point in the 80s.
Seems like it's usually British guys too. Am I crazy?
They're not afraid of putting themselves out there to get paid. Yeah. Was he in the original Howling?
Who? Michael Caine?
Christopher Lee.
No, fuck no.
Okay.
No.
I've never seen number one, so I have no idea.
We watched number one for this podcast.
What?
Yes.
Oh, it's not at all connected to this, though.
Good God. How do you not remember that we did that?
I don't know. It's a long time ago. We drank a lot of beer for this podcast.
I guess that's fair. Welcome to Bad Movies and Beer. I'm Cooper.
And I'm Nolan.
And yes, I believe this is the first time we are covering a sequel to a movie that we've already covered. Oh, this fucking guy doesn't remember. It's Howling II, Your Sister is a Werewolf.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I do remember doing the Howling. Now, it's not at all connected to this shit.
Well, it is, though, because the original Howling ends with that lady turning into a werewolf live on air in a news broadcast.
Yes, okay.
And that's the connection here.
Oh, and then she is the corpse we're at the start, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But no, I
Holy shit.
I don't blame you for not making a connection to the rest of this movie.
Yeah.
But yes, we covered the Howling.
Yes.
Which some people were like, this is a good movie. What are you guys doing? I don't think anyone will make that argument about this one.
Oh, absolutely not. There's no chance someone argues that Howling 2 does not belong on this podcast.
No, in fact, this, I believe, was, it's been suggested to us a couple of times, and I think it was requested by, someone requested two things. I think his name was Chris.
Okay.
And we did the other one, and now we're doing this one. So if it was you, Chris, and you're out there, it's finally happening, buddy. And then a friend of yours just the other day mentioned this movie.
Yeah, BJ requested this I don't know.
3 days ago or something?
Yeah, hilariously, I was like, well, we're watching that this weekend. Man. Yeah, it's coming.
So we're hopefully going to make a lot of people happy here. A lot of Howling 2 fans. If you're out there.
Jeez.
Or anyone whose sister is a werewolf.
Yeah, well, that.
And we're gonna get into all of this fucking insanity.
What a title for a movie.
Yeah, I feel like right there they tell you they're really taking this seriously.
Yeah.
Although I think in other versions, I think there's like a European version released that was literally called The Howling 2, like Werewolf Bitch, or like Sturba the Bitch or something. I'm sure I saw a poster of that and I was like, oh, this is a little
all right. There we go.
So lots to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot to talk about. Definitely very European in its feeling, this movie.
They filmed it in Czechoslovakia, I believe, or the former Czechoslovakia, now known as either Czechia.
Czechia, yeah.
What, wasn't it the Czech Republic?
Yeah.
Pick a name, guys. Just kidding. We love you, Czechia.
Yes.
Anyway, as always, we have paired this movie up with a beer, and this is actually a favorite of yours. Do you remember this beer?
No. You've caught me early in the morning here. We're going to pull back the curtain here. This is an 8:30 a.m. recording.
11 a.m. somewhere.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So we're going to be cracking open our first beer at 8:30. But this is from the Bellwoods Brewery.
Who we've used before.
Yeah, in Toronto. One of my favorites. So really excited. This is their standard pale ale. But
Wizard Wolf is the name.
Yeah,
very appropriate.
Yeah, exactly. Easy connection here. Both the fact that we're talking about werewolves, but also that our main villain also seems to be a bit of a wizard.
Among other things that we'll get to, yeah. She's
got magical powers,
for sure. She put a spell on me, I'll tell you that right now.
With some aggressive
get ready for that will not be the last comment I make about enjoying the actress in this role.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have lots of comments about enjoying this beer because it's a hazy, hoppy, but still,
hang on. What? It's just this pale ale.
Yeah, but it is of a like hazy pale ale style. It's delicious though.
All right.
Enjoy it.
Well, we'll see. Why don't we crack it open now and find out how this goes?
Let's get into it. I can't believe I forgot we watched The Howling. It's not that hazy.
So after a Hemdale Film Corporation Presents graphic, we dissolve to a shot of stars moving through outer space. Before long, we hear the unmistakable voice of horror icon Christopher Lee, who tells us,
For it is written, the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with her blood. And I saw her sit upon a hairy beast, and she held forth a golden chalice full of the filthiness of her fornications. And upon her forehead was written, Behold, I am the great mother of harlots and all abominations of the earth.
He's reading from the Bible, and we see that when he appears superimposed on the outer space like a goddamn Force ghost from Star Wars. A doctor's office skeleton slowly appears beside him before we hit the pulsing music of the opening credits. Howling II, Your Sister is a Werewolf. They should have called this Howling II, What the Fuck is Going On? Why are we in space in a movie about werewolves?
I don't know. This starts out really hot. That like deep voiceover. Excited to see Christopher Lee here, even if he's just cashing in to get a new home. But I don't understand why he's superimposed on space, and it doesn't make any sense. It's not giving us a background from last time, right? They're not making the connection to the previous one yet. We're gonna get that shortly. But what we do get is some very intense synth and drum music as we get all these shots of gargoyles and skeletons and skulls, and what is going to be actually a location that we visit later in the movie. So at least that part is cool here. They're building sort of a scariness as we head into the movie. Really hard mood setting. I also noticed that it's based on novels.
Yes, there is a Howling series of novels, although I cannot possibly believe that the book version of this is
anything similar to the plot.
I have not read the book, but I would find it'd be very hard pressing that was the way this went.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. From there, we transition to a more traditional place of worship, a church in Los Angeles, City of Angels, the credits tell us, where a funeral for Karen White, who you may not remember, was the main character of the previous movie. It's definitely not the same actress in this coffin, though, as seemingly none of the legitimate or semi-legitimate actors from the original will be caught anywhere near this thing. She's also definitely not dead, as shortly after the pallbearers place her coffin in a mausoleum, we clearly see Karen open her eyes and start screaming. The mourners outside are completely unaware, though, as they're too preoccupied with grief and, in the case of local reporter Jenny, the mysterious string of dead bodies that have been found with claw and canine teeth marks all over them. I say mysterious, but at least two different characters acknowledge it's werewolves within like a minute and a half. You know, in case we didn't realize what movie we were watching.
I don't know. Apparently, I needed the reminder because I had forgotten that Karen was the person who transformed at the end of our last one. When I saw the video, I was sort of like, okay, this seems familiar, but I still didn't make that connection, which is hilarious. So we've got a not dead werewolf reporter. We have got a funeral, and then we've got like the murders that are happening. So they've locked that in. Are we going to meet some other important characters here? How are we going to move forward?
Well, yeah, Christopher Lee is there, obviously, because he's everywhere in this movie. And he meets the brother of Karen White, fellow by the name of Ben.
Ben, yes.
Yeah. And also a certain dusky funeral goer with a veil we see outside who's going to come into play a little bit later on. Because, you know, she's
a werewolf.
Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but grief takes many forms. And for that lady, the grief takes the form of hitting up a local rock bar and inviting a group of punks to run a train on her in an old abandoned factory. Now, it probably won't come as a surprise to you, but as soon as they get there, this lady starts howling, then transforms into an extremely low-budget werewolf. What was far more surprising to me was the sweet new wave blazer and sunglasses that Christopher Lee was wearing in that bar. Did you see this? This shit was great.
Oh my goodness. So this is such an 80s thing, right? The drop in of a new wave performance in the middle of this, what feels like from a real new wave band.
It is not.
No, I think they put themselves together for this. They were new wave musicians, I think.
Yeah, the main singer is the guy who wrote this song, which, okay, am I crazy or do we only ever get this song? I feel like this song is the only song in the movie, minus some like street performers we see later.
Yeah, it's played several times throughout.
It's called Howling.
It's actually not like
bad.
Terrible. It's kind of fun. It's pretty good. Yeah. So I do enjoy the Howling song. We do get it over and over again. The performance is hilarious. The costuming on Christopher Lee, like you said,
man.
He's wearing Geordie LaForge from Star Trek glasses, basically.
It's those skinny, single piece. Yeah, they're white, and he has this like orange kind of pink. What kills me is he's easily 30 years older than everyone else there.
Yes.
But by wearing these clothes,
he's trying to fit in.
Seamless disguise.
Yeah. He has his shirt tucked into his pants too. And what can only be described as a non-flattering move, but
Well,
fitting for the time. He's an older gentleman trying to pull it off here,
Yeah.
but obviously trying to go to this club. He knows that there's going to be some werewolves here. He seems to know everything about werewolves.
Yeah, which I for sure thought that he was going to end up like being in on this and being evil. He does not, but the fact that he's there, I'm like, he's orchestrating this somehow. And I was wrong. I was wrong, Christopher Lee.
Well, he does introduce himself as an occult specialist, right?
That's right. Stefan Krosko.
Yeah, that sounds
Krosko?
right. Krosko, yeah, something like that. He's there spying on the werewolves. That lady we saw at the funeral.
Mariana is her name.
Yeah, she is there, like you said, trying to lure some punks to a good time. They think for them, but for her and her friends.
Oh yeah, it will not be a good time for them, as we find out in a moment. She absolutely slaughters these punks, tossing them around, mauling them, and dropping crates on them, much of which were treated to in like a point of view shot, especially when she's chasing them. She even throws one off a roof, which basically causes him to explode all over his girlfriend. That definitely wasn't the facial she was expecting to get, huh?
Oh God. They had started the scene with the two of them going off to have sex in like a rundown warehouse, so you're not wrong. That wasn't the experience she was hoping for. It is blood as the bodily fluid all over her this time. Does she get away though?
No, they all get killed, man.
Yeah.
We got a shot of her like boots being dragged back into this thing, and the howling is very audible.
Yeah, it's live. We've got, and there's more than one werewolf there, right? There were a couple hiding there. I think so. It seemed to me like it's definitely her doing most of the work, but if it's not, she was everywhere. She can supernaturally pop up. Maybe that's true. Yeah,
she's a renowned hunter, we find out.
That's true. So maybe this is her. You're right. Maybe she just takes them all out. For some reason, I felt like because they switched to shots of transformations, but like it's always the same shot of a transformation.
Well, and they're always inserting it.
Yes.
There's a lot of insert shots, and that comes into play later on for my bad rating. I feel like this must have been a budgetary thing, because it's the same shot over and over, and you can't really tell which wolf it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's strange, the editing in this. Kind of all over the place. At times you see things that haven't happened yet, but also it'll cut back to things that have happened. Just this never-ending series of like jumpy.
They make it very frenetic when the werewolves are around, right? Like it's very hard to follow what the action is when they're in the sequences. And
again, I think that's intentional.
Yeah, it would just budget and to give a little bit of mood, I guess. But so it was hard for me to know whether there were other werewolves there. Like that's why I figured she howled. Like I guess to summon or let them know that the others were there, but maybe that's just what you do. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a wolf version of a starter pistol.
yeah, just get everything going.
So I think the reason I was so obsessed with Christopher Lee's new wave look is because I've pretty much only ever seen that dude in suits, and that is what we get in our next scene. Having previously given his business card to Karen White's brother Ben and spoken to reporter Jenny at the funeral, it was only a matter of time until the two of them turned up at Stefan Krosko's door looking for answers. They don't like the answers he has for them, though, especially not Ben, as despite Stefan showing him the since-erased footage of his sister's final news broadcast where she turned into a werewolf live on air, like we said, he refuses to believe it. At least I think he refuses to believe it. This dude is a fucking terrible actor, so it's hard to be sure.
Yeah, the Ben performance is atrocious.
He's so bad at acting.
In general, the acting in this is really bad.
I would agree with that.
Other than Christopher Lee and
Sturba.
She doesn't have to do a lot of acting.
You're right. She's effortless, I would call it.
Yeah, exactly. When we get to this place, when we go see him and he's in the suit and he's explaining all of this, I'm like, was this inspiration for Twilight?
I feel like this movie is the inspiration for a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's a great amount of stuff in here that I'm like, I've seen this like either before or later.
Yeah, I do feel like some of the stuff they do here might get borrowed later for sure. And they're doing this on what seems like a very low budget, and it's obviously a cash-in if it's number 2, and it seems like such a departure. It was such a departure from the first, I didn't even realize I had seen the first.
Yeah, man, there you go. No, turns out the whole "your sister is a werewolf" thing was just the tip of the iceberg, as Christopher Lee solemnly delivers more information to Ben and Jenny. He tells them and us about Karen's death, that she planned it herself, fearing what she might do to innocent people, and about Mariana, who it turns out is not your typical run-of-the-mill werewolf, but rather one that is immune to silver bullets. And he also lets us know the stakes of this movie, as the next full moon will signal the 10th millennium of a werewolf named Sturba's birth. Stirba is essentially the queen of all werewolves, and when the clock strikes midnight during that next full moon, all werewolves will reveal themselves, which will somehow trigger like a reverse evolution and mean the end of human civilization as we know it. Luckily, Stefan has a plan though, and it starts with Ben's sister, who he tells us the werewolves will try to exhume.
Night, they will return to Karin's grave for her body. But I will protect her, and I will prevent this blasphemy.
How?
With this.
How can you listen to this bull?
It's all true, Mr. White.
Yep, everything I said about Ben's acting is true.
Awful, terrible, slightly confusing plot lines here. I mean, I guess it helped that we had Christopher Lee give that intro that also helped lay some of this down. The fact that this like evil werewolf leader woman is gonna like create a reverse evolution was confusing, but the stakes are up here. We gotta deal with them fast. Why is this Karen's body so important though?
I don't know. That was not clear to me. I took it as the werewolves won't let one of their own like not rest in peace because they took the silver bullets out of Karen, so now she won't die. There was something about that.
Yeah, there's some weird thing where the silver bullets prevented her from like moving beyond to...
If they had stayed in her body, she would have stayed dead.
Yeah.
I think what we're dealing with here, and this is going to come up in a moment, I think the screenwriters are just confused because so much of what we get here, and you mentioned Twilight, this seems more about vampires than werewolves.
Yeah.
Like in every way. Because the thing with the vampires was if the stake's in the heart, they're dead.
Yeah.
If you take it out, they reform and they're back. And that's a little bit what I'm getting with Silver Bullet vibes. And we will get more stuff in a moment because Christopher Lee's plan when he goes to her body is to drive a silver stake through her heart. Thus,
like finishing her off. Yeah, this is real confusing. There's a lot of stuff that I'm unsure about. I'm also unsure of Jenny's motivations anymore. Because the reporter here immediately apologizes for this guy's sister's death and asks if he wants to go to her place to
Yeah.
She didn't actually ask to but she tried to get him
later.
Well, I know. She tries to get him to go back to her house though. And that's when he freaks out and says he's going to kill Christopher Lee, which seems like an overreaction.
Well, yeah, despite not believing any of this, according to him, Ben gets his gun and goes to the cemetery that night because he wants to kill Stefan. Jenny comes along as well, and they arrive to find the chain on the gate cut or bitten through, and they hear the unmistakable howl of a wolf. Ben's not going to let that stop him, though, and before long, he and Jenny are stalking through the woods, all while Stefan prays at an altar and pours holy water on his werewolf stake. I kept waiting for him to pull some garlic out, because seriously, this is fucking vampire shit, right? This is not werewolf shit.
Don't worry, that happens later.
It does happen later. This is so weird.
But you know what's going to save the feeling here of all this confusion and contradiction is the fact that the Howling theme is back.
Yes, it's back. Absolutely.
It's back again as they are walking through the cemetery as we're building up all of this tension. While we see Christopher Lee praying over the body, see a werewolf snout and hear that howl. We get some Yeti-like footage. I find that a lot of the werewolves here just look like they are like Yetis in the woods.
They're apes, man.
Yeah.
They're gorilla. Those are gorilla costumes. I'm sure of it. No, seriously. Various shadowy figures emerge over the course of the next few minutes. And yeah, what we're dealing with here is not vampires or werewolves. They look like guys in gorilla suits, although the one that Ben blows away in the woods seems to be just a big wolf, kind of similar to the one we got in the original Howling. But yeah, 99% of the time, it looks like a dude in a gorilla suit. Anyway, shortly after that happens, Ben and Jenny head to the mausoleum for cover, where they find Christopher Lee about to plunge his silver stake into Ben's sister's heart. Ben threatens to shoot him if he goes through with it, but once his sister's unrealistic werewolf hands reach out of the coffin and try to get Stefan, Ben ends up putting her down himself with a couple of silver bullets. Irony.
Yeah, he's finally, after seeing video evidence of werewolves, after being attacked by them, it takes him all the way until his sister almost kills Christopher Lee for him to finally be on board. He does put her down, though. And while they're in there, there's one more werewolf attack. We had seen this old guy at the funeral with the Maria character earlier in the film in werewolf form attacks them. And somehow they shoot and trap it with like the mesh of a basketball net.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, this net could not stop anyone. It was like a net from the old Batman TV show in how fake this fucking looks.
The
but
prop master in this scene just completely flubbed it. Whichever person they asked to go out and get a net found like the cheapest piece of shit they could have ever found. They like stole this off of someone's like basketball hoop or hockey net in their front drive. Like it was terrible.
Unbelievable. It weighs nothing. But yes, after spotting what looks like a werewolf taxi driver running out of the mausoleum and chasing him down, they do catch him in an old-timey net after Ben first puts a silver bullet in his gut. And they interrogate this guy about where they can find Stirba. Stefan has to threaten the senior citizen werewolf with an eternity of not resting in peace to make it happen, but the old codger finally gives them a clue as to the location of the werewolf queen. Ben and Jenny aren't knowledgeable enough to understand it, but they're fully on board at this point and ask Stefan,
"Where do we have to go to find Stirba?"
To the dark country, to Transylvania.
Are we just talking about vampires? What the fuck is happening here?
I mean, I think there's a lot of crossover in lore around some of the cryptids, particularly vampires and werewolves, but I don't know.
Bullshit. No.
It seems confusing to me, yeah. But so apparently we're going to Transylvania. The acting here is so bad.
Yes.
I am not convinced that Ben or Jenny are in any way interested in going on this adventure. And I also don't think that the stakes have been built for them to like want to go kill this like dangerous werewolf wizard lady.
Yeah, why does Ben give a fuck? His sister's now dead.
I don't know.
Jenny is a reporter.
I have
but I'm
no
sure her
idea.
Newspaper is not covering for her to go to Transylvania.
And what is his experience in life? Isn't he just like a farmer? He's like from back
Ben?
home. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. He's not very bright. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand why he's now turned into a werewolf hunter. But yes, they are heading there.
It's a great point. We're into this very quickly. Unfortunately for them, Mariana, that vampire from earlier, I said vampire because that's what I'm thinking of.
No werewolf. Yeah.
No, she witnessed this whole exchange, so they're going to have some company in Transylvania. And sure enough, in our next scene, we see her arriving and being greeted by a fairly greasy dude in a suit who tells Mariana that Stirba is excited to meet her. The feeling is mutual, I'm sure. Before then, she'll be meeting a couple of thick-legged European hikers, as the werewolf party is hungry and neither the greaseball welcome guy or his driver brought any food. So we smash cut to these two fuckers chuffing along before they hop in the back of the truck and get devoured. Comedy!
Yeah, just eating Eastern European men in the back of a truck.
Yeah, right after we're hungry, cut to thick-legged dudes just, like, come on, man.
Yeah, those poor guys did not last long in this film. Their acting may have been better than Ben's, though, so I'm not sure.
Just them walking away was better than, no, I agree with that. No, man. Apparently the werewolves have all arrived in Transylvania, or at least the ones that matter anyway, so it's time for Stirba to officially kick off the festivities. That greasy guy, now decked out in leather robes and a fur hat, carries some girl in wearing a wedding dress and places her on an altar. He pours a bunch of blood on her as everyone chants. Then some old bag leans over and inhales this girl's life force while everyone else howls. We get a bunch of quick cuts now between the assembled werewolves, various werewolf imagery, and a melting head, before that same old lady rises up, having now transformed into a smoking hot 30-something-year-old with a sexy dress and just a glorious mane of 80s hair. And I'll tell you, that old lady wasn't the only thing rising up, especially now once we get to our next scene.
Oh, man, the BDSM party really got you going, huh?
Is that what that was? I don't know what you call it, but it was interesting.
Well, the outfits were very much like leather daddy kind of stuff as they were covered.
Oh, not this again. We covered this in Mad Max a couple weeks ago.
What was interesting were a few things here. The breathing in energy thing is the first of the sparkly visuals that we get in
like
the
drawn
80s.
in effects. Yeah, man.
The melting face I actually thought was quite cool. Like I thought that it was well done. The hard cuts, maybe not as good. The old woman transforming into the much sexier 30-year-old woman who has her bosoms.
They're on display.
Yeah.
They are prominently
Nipples
featured.
are covered, but
now.
They're definitely showing us why they chose her to be the leader of this sort of werewolf sex cult.
Yeah, man. And this hot lady is, of course, Stirba, the werewolf queen, and her first official act in her new body is to get her greasy right-hand man to nail Mariana while she watches. There's wolf sounds and titties everywhere, and the most jarring transition you can possibly imagine as we cut to Christopher Lee in the back of Jenny and Ben's rental car. There's some kind of problem on the road ahead. An old lady from the local village has seemingly been hit by a car. The townsfolk urge our heroes to take her for medical attention, but once Jenny draws close, they all quickly slink away. Stefan can sense something isn't right, and sure enough, we've got ourselves a werewolf ambush. The first of two back-to-back, it turns out, as after dispatching with this first threat and getting back in the car, Jenny and Ben nearly go flying off the road when a second werewolf pops up in their back seat. And all I could think of here was three things. First, how convenient it was that Stefan decided to go to the village on foot, as it stopped them from discovering someone hiding in the back seat. Second, how ridiculous it was they almost went off the road, and the director played it up with a hilarious zoom out that shows us the not very tall cliff. And 3, that it would be great if we got in a werewolf sex scene, but with them as actual werewolves this time. What's that, you say?
Yeah, there's a lot here. Not a very surprising transformation of that lady who is pretending to be injured in the road. I was a little surprised that somehow they snuck a werewolf in the car while they were helping that lady.
Yeah, but again, thank God Christopher
he decided
I'll go on
to
foot,
just conveniently
guys. Yeah.
walk. Who knows how long this goddamn trip is? It didn't seem like it was close.
They were not very close to the city. No, couldn't have been.
They also were not that close to the edge of that cliff that they did the zoom out on. It was pretty funny.
That was a hard zoom also.
Yeah, real hard. Some of the shots and wipes in this are very
Oh
questionable.
my God, the fucking wipes. It was like watching Star Wars.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was like watching Star Wars, but even George Lucas would not have the gall to put some of these like shapes and stuff in on these wipes. It's
The
unreal.
diamond wipe that happens at some point.
Dude.
I was just
That's
like,
happening soon.
holy shit. You did mention though that the Stilba character was into watching. She'd set off this chain of events where I took it as her mate, that greasy guy. I thought was her like lover. I don't know, her like
He might just be like the stud of this.
Whole like coven kind of thing. So after like she tore off the top of the Mariana lady and sent them to bed and started watching herself. I think she pops her own top too here.
She does. And get used to seeing that because you will see it many more times.
I was like, well, she's into watching. I was not expecting, like you said, when we transition back for them to be full werewolf mode, covered in hair, like wearing hair bodysuits.
I wouldn't say
covering them up.
covered. Like they are like half werewolves this way. Maybe like 2/3. Basically, they have patches of fur, but still some skin. Claws that really just look like long fingernails, and jacked up teeth and wrinkles that we see very clearly when you get a close up of this guy's O face. But yeah, he slides off of Mariana and over to Stirba, ready to double dip before we again cut away, prematurely I feel, and inexplicably by Diamond Wipe. We get the Diamond Wipe here
This is
to
when it
the
happens.
streets of Transylvania, which, despite the odd assortment of buskers, dwarves, and casual voyeurs, seem positively normal compared to what we just saw.
Yeah. This whole werewolf like transition sex scene is weird. I'm thinking they do it like the mid-transition costume so that they can like show the action and it not get a higher rating.
You think if there were just wolves f***ing that they'd be rated higher?
I think if they were humans f***ing, the rating would be
of
worse,
course.
right?
You just have porn at that point.
Well,
then.
yeah, but they basically want to like have a threesome and show as much as they can without showing it, so they just tape a bunch of hair to them.
I guess. Yeah. Whatever the effect is they were going for, I'm not sure they nailed it, though.
I was not enthused. When we cut back and they were very hairy like that, I was like, Jesus, they need to see an esthetician.
I mean, well, it was a different era. I said that things in Transylvania seem normal. That may not extend to the hotel Ben and Jenny are going to be staying in. Their check-in process is awkward and like weirdly tense, with two of the voyeurs I mentioned earlier looking on with creepy smiles as the couple enters and greets the guy at the front desk. But these strange vibes really come to the foreground after they're given a key to room 666, which causes Ben to make an offhand comment about the hotel's architecture.
This hotel doesn't look like it has 6 floors.
I know. Funny, isn't it?
I don't know, man. Personally, I feel like that might have given me some hesitation, but the two of them head right on up after Jenny pulls out some garlic, because seriously, we're just dealing with vampires at this point. I don't care what this movie says. And they start f***ing against the wall.
Yeah.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, after she took the garlic out, they decided it was time to bone down.
Yeah, she's like, Ben, hold me. And he's just drilling her against the wall of this hotel.
while his pants are on.
Oh, yeah, he's fully dressed.
His shirt's off. They pop his top, but then
He just opened the fly.
yeah,
just let it out.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is it okay if I keep my denim?
He does wear like a full denim tuxedo too
Yeah,
for
man.
a good chunk of this movie. That sex scene came out of nowhere.
Really?
Right? Like she'd been coming on to him pretty hard a little bit in this, but I don't know why. Like there was no, like they never went on a date or anything. I guess their lives being in danger made them like, we could be dead at any moment. We might as well just bang against this wall.
I guess. I thought they were just friends. It came out of nowhere for me. Not that I was necessarily complaining, because like, I don't know. It's better than watching those fucking dudes in the hotel lobby.
Well, what I was wondering was how many peoples were in the walls of this thing, though. Like, those guys are giant creepers, and obviously they put them in room 666 on purpose.
Which may not exist.
I think
on a
they
floor
were
that
all
doesn't
watching
exist.
it. Yeah,
Something,
they were all watching it for sure.
Well, if they were watching it, then what they saw was Jenny's climax causing us to square wipe back down to the street, where she and Ben notice a particularly intriguing dwarf, their words, and decide to follow him. And wouldn't you know it, he leads them right to Christopher Lee and his team of local vampire hunters. That was convenient. According to him, many in the village have given themselves willingly to the forces of evil, but these fine men and women have pledged to combat these forces because they've all lost loved ones to the plague of werewolves that's soon to be sweeping the globe. Stefan wants them to lay low until his group can put their plan into action, but Ben is like, fuck that, and decides the smarter play would be for him and Jenny to take a look around. So they check out a puppet show in the Transylvania Street Festival that tells the not-so-subtle story of the wolf in sheep's clothing. Jenny, who I guess has seen Let My Puppets Come and therefore finds all of this deeply erotic, wants to go back up to their room, and we cut to what is presumably a post-coital shot of her in the bathtub. The camera slowly moves closer as we find ourselves in a point of view shot that is clearly meant to build tension. We know that Stirba's right-hand man sensed their presence earlier. Is he now in their room and inching closer to the prone and unsuspecting Jenny? I fucking wish. Turns out it's just Ben, who I swear to God, with the biggest shit-eating grin on his face, says,
Boo! Hi, honey.
what the fuck?
I was wondering whether this was like a later change or decision. Like, originally they were going to put her in danger in the bath, or do you think it was written as this like piece of shit comedy moment?
It's so bad, man. I can't imagine this was like intentional. I mean, I guess it was because they put it in the movie, but like, fuck.
Maybe she died here or something.
And they were like, no, we gotta leave her in the movie.
We
No.
gotta leave her in the movie.
Or somebody was like, hey, you know what'd be really funny? And then they're like, that
fake
would be funny.
jump scare. Yeah.
Fuck me.
Oh,
He's
so bad.
And he's such a bad actor too.
Yeah.
That like, it's not like his delivery of this horseshit line is not even sincere.
Oh God, it's so bad. It's less believable than the pleasure moans we get from the interspersed orgy at the werewolf place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is the baffling decision. And I was watching this late at night and groaned so loud I woke my wife up. Like I was just like, oh my God. She's everything okay? I'm like, yes.
Does this guy who plays Ben, like, is he one of the writers? Is he like, why is this guy in this role? You had to have been able to find someone who was a better actor or more convincing than this
He
guy.
was willing to fly to Czechoslovakia and do this role for no money. I don't know.
He had to have done it free.
I've seen him in other stuff, and I like this is really bad.
Really bad.
Entertainingly bad? I don't know. You be the judge. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, we head back to the streets of Transylvania now, where despite his earlier suggestion of laying low, Christopher Lee is just front and center in the middle of this full moon festival, and he is immediately spotted by Stirba's right-hand man and Mariana, who he warns his dwarf to stay away from. Meanwhile, Ben decides to go get Jenny a souvenir and what is another in just a long line of great ideas, and he leaves her with their creepy Transylvanian tour guide who is so clearly a werewolf.
Yeah.
And sure enough, after Ben ends up spotting Mariana and deciding to tail her instead, this guy tells Jenny that Ben, who was literally just beside them mere moments ago, wants her to go meet him at some gypsy camp. And she fucking goes. I thought Jenny was supposed to be the smart one in this relationship.
Yeah, she's not a great reporter here. She does not determine
She's
that
not a
this
great
guy-
anything.
No, this is so dumb. She's going to head to the local gypsy camp to meet Ben, who mentioned nothing of that to her.
And was there 30 seconds earlier. He's just getting a head start to the gypsy camp? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, things are getting confusing. The decisions of the characters are incredibly convenient. They're doing things that they said they wouldn't. I don't understand why Christopher Lee has shown himself. We also, like, the Mariana character also shows herself to Christopher Lee. Like, they basically look at each other and be like, yep, we're going to kill each other later.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they
bit of a
confirmed in this, and
yeah.
you're like, I thought we were, like, trying to build to this secret ambush, and clearly that's not out there. We just put all of our cards on the table. We got to cut back to Stirba, though, and we're going to get some intense synth talking.
Yeah, she is basically trying to, like, summon Christopher Lee to her. I don't know if this is telepathy because she's not moving her mouth. She's just walking sexily through the frame while this talking goes on over her movements. And yeah, she's got the music, but like
We're getting weird 80s effects too.
Yeah.
Like she
bit of an aura.
drawn on
Kinda
aura
glowing.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get quite a bit of that in this, and I
Yes,
didn't
we
know.
do.
I didn't know if how much of it was intentional and like how much was like compromised film reel. I was like, what's happening here?
No, man, that's the wizard part of our wizard wolf
Yes,
here.
exactly.
No.
She's wizarding it up. It's confusing though, because I don't understand why she has these powers. But I guess if you've been around for all the millennia and your like birthday full moon's coming, you might have some magical powers.
Also, I think she's a space werewolf. That's what it is. She's an alien werewolf vampire hybrid.
That's why Christopher Lee was in space in the intro.
Must have been. Apparently, Ben has been tailing Mariana all day because the next time we see him, it's pitch black and he's stalking her through the woods with his gun ready and Stefan's dwarf friend in tow. They get right to the gates of Stirba's werewolf compound, and after the little guy takes out the sentry with a knife to the gut from 50 yards, followed by a medieval mace blow, they make their way close enough to hear the big reveal. It turns out Stefan is Stirba's brother, thus making her the sister who's a werewolf in our movie title, not Ben's sister Karen. What a twist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this also explains why she was trying to summon him using some sort of sexy telepathy in the previous scene. Did you see the outfit she was wearing here? Fuck, dude, she could summon me anytime.
Was this the like leather with the metal things all over it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very 80s vibes, but
Oh,
she looked
man.
like she belonged in an awesome hair metal band.
Seriously.
What's weird though is the like sibling sexual energy that she's giving towards her brother here.
That
and
comes out
throughout-
later, though.
Yeah, but this is the first look of it.
She does say that you can't resist me.
Yes,
which is
weird. Yeah,
It is weird.
So what we learn is they want to lure him there. I guess they are most powerful in their lair, so they want the fight to be on their ground. So they have to figure out a way to get Christopher Lee to their lair. And what's the best way they can do that?
Well, that's why they've got Jenny. Clearly.
Yeah, they're going to capture Jenny. But the guy who's got Jenny, is he interested in
my God.
like, fulfilling?
We're going
to get there in a minute.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Ben and the world's deadliest dwarf, Stirba spots them through a window, so we've got a werewolf chasing on our hands. Mariana and Stirba's right-hand man transform into the excruciatingly low-budget gorilla-type werewolves we were treated to earlier. And speaking of excruciating, this dwarf slips and falls, which causes some special earplugs he had shown Ben earlier to fall out of his ears. He and Ben try to find them, but it's impossible in the pitch-black forest. Which is bad news for him, as Stirba, who has been angrily calling out in her demon voice, takes hold of his mind using both her glowing vampire cape and pulsing finger rays to make this dude's eyeballs explode out of his head, an effect which was thoroughly ridiculous, but low-key really good.
Yeah.
Like, this is easily my favorite part of the movie, if you don't count all the nudity.
Lots of thoughts about this whole sequence. It's pretty... Like, there's a lot to it. The transformation of Stirba's right-hand man and Mariana reminded me of Thriller. And the way that the music happened in the background, it felt like we were a part of that music video as well. So I was like, what's the timing on this shit again?
Post-Thriller. They're ripping off Thriller.
That's what and that's sort of what this moment felt like, because it was even playing like the 80s sci-fi at the same time.
Theme song again, I think.
Yeah,
Is it not?
I think it's probably the same theme song. Like you, I was a little baffled by the glowing cape and the magic, but I really liked the eye explosion.
Cool, man. Look
It
good.
was really, really well done. So the makeup practical effects in this actually have been quite strong.
Only when you're dealing with heads.
Yes, yeah, they had.
They're great at
good.
making heads do stuff. Everything else, not so much.
Whoever the face person was, it did a really good job here, because that melting head was awesome, and then the eyeball explosion here. We cut from that head explosion to the werewolf spy with Jenny, though.
Yeah, the dwarf is toast, and things are not going much better for Jenny, who finally, after literal hours of following the creepy Transylvanian tour guide, is just now putting together the fact that maybe something isn't right. She points out that they're heading the wrong way, and dude is like, surprise, I'm going to rape you. She tries to fight him off, but he gets her pinned down and basically tells her there's no escape.
You'll die. But first, you taste the pleasure of ruin. A werewolf.
Did you have lycanthrope blowjobs in your bingo card for this movie? Because I definitely did not.
I missed that line.
Are you shitting me?
I didn't hear him say that she was gonna blow him.
He says you will taste the pleasure
Of blowing. Wow.
Yeah.
And this guy was a real greasy motherfucker.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
He had not experienced that in some time, unless it was a part of one of those weird werewolf orgies, right?
Yeah.
While before this happens, luckily for Jenny, she gets rescued by other bad guys, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, rescued, if you can call it that, by one of Stirba's other werewolves. so they can use her to lure their true nemesis to their lair. That's Stefan, of course. And lure him they do by having what appears to be a child put on the dwarf's holy medallion and taunt Christopher Lee with it. Stefan follows the child to an abandoned house, only to be attacked by who it turns out is the dwarf himself, now reanimated under the control of Stirba. And just when I thought this movie had crested effects-wise, Ben bursts in to rescue Stefan by picking the dwarf up and throwing him out a window, causing him to land on a bunch of metal spikes below. Everything about this sequence was incredible and hilarious, and I think this movie is just gaining steam as we go along here.
Yeah, the interspersed shots of Ben searching this village for them as this like possessed little person tries to take out. He does get a little stab on Christopher Lee here, but like you said, Ben busts in at the perfect time, chucks him out that window, and when we get the like squish sound as the like corpse of that little person bashes through the spikes on the fence, it's pretty good.
And the body's like still wiggling.
Splayed
That was a good shot, man.
No, I liked it. And I actually think like the setting that they've created here is fun. It works well for this movie.
Perfect for a vampire movie. I agree. Yeah, that's what we got here. No. We are hurtling towards our big final battle now. The werewolves have Jenny strung up and covered in the blood of a lamb. Ben, Stefan, and the rest of his crew are gearing up for battle, and Stirba is confidently lounging on her throne, listening to new wave music and watching over the world's biggest werewolf orgy. And I had suspected it for a while, but this was the point where I finally realized that I'm cheering for the werewolves. All hail Stirba. Bring on the full moon, Noel.
This is just like Life Force back again, isn't it?
It's a werewolf version of Life Force. Yeah.
Absolutely cheering for the hot villain to come out all the way.
I would not be good for humanity in these scenarios.
So what we've learned then, if aliens are coming to take over the planet, they just need to make their leader a hot woman.
That's
and
it.
You're going to follow along.
Yeah, I'm in. That's how they turned me right away.
I was sort of down mostly because that band is playing again at the party. Like
I wasn't sure if it was at the party. They were cutting back and forth. Are they at this orgy? And they are. They're the soundtrack to this orgy.
Yeah, they're there playing again. And I am all for these live band performances in these 80s movies. This is the shit that makes me laugh so hard when like there's no reason for them to actually be there.
They're just there for the gig. She literally just hired them to play this orgy. Yeah.
It's very chaotic, this orgy too. Like there's not a lot of clear like I guess they have to make it that way. Otherwise, this wouldn't be rated a movie that could be shown.
Well, they're not going to show like penetration. Is that what you're saying?
No, I know, but
there's
it's
lots
just like
of nudity.
But it's just a bunch of people writhing on top of each other on the floor.
Like you're describing an orgy. That's what an orgy is.
Is that what it looks like?
I don't know.
It didn't look very deliberate. That's all I'm saying. Like
I'm sure they're improving. There's no script for an orgy. No.
Oh no.
Either way, it turns out this orgy is going to end early as Stirba senses the arrival of Stefan and the boys and sends her pack to intercept them in the woods. We get a few minutes of gratuitous gorilla suit gore here as seemingly dozens of werewolves rush out of the darkness only to get shot, stabbed, or hacked up by Christopher Lee's posse. He even unleashes a holy grenade on one of them after it pops up out of the ground to grab one of his dudes. Stirba isn't a fan of that, so she pulls Mariana and her right-hand man over to some sort of statue and they begin chanting. This does not seem to accomplish much other than turning them all on. The dude in particular seems to be struggling to pop off in his robe, while Stefan and Ben decide to split up in what I have to assume is a move designed to make it easier for one or both of them to get killed. And speaking of getting killed, you'll never believe it, but all those anonymous villagers who were a part of Christopher Lee's team of werewolf hunters, yeah, they all get slaughtered. The last one by some kind of vicious demon bat. You know, classic werewolf stuff.
Holy crap. You moved quickly through here because the pace of this scene is fast, but a lot of shit happens. So many of those members that came with Christopher Lee get killed by yetis in the woods.
They're gorillas, dude. These are guys in ape costumes.
Oh my God. It's so bad when they're dying. There's an insane amount of synth sounds that are getting played here to support the mood. Weird lighting. That over-the-top explosion from that holy fire grenade was so funny. I laughed really, really hard. I was angry when they split the party.
Yeah,
clearly this is a bad idea.
You mean I thought you meant the orgy. You mean the group?
When the group splits the party and they go into this horror thing alone. This is like
when the orgy ended, and I agree with you.
No, I was not upset about that. That was fine.
Oh no,
it wasn't clear enough for me. I was confused, and that's never good. I don't maintain an erection with confusion.
You never, or when you split the party, you never split the party. That's you taught me that early.
Yes, exactly.
In
D&D, you can't do it. The priest dying I
Oh
guess
yeah, he was a priest. One of the guys.
Yeah,
from
the
group,
last guy who comes is the priest dying, and it's a like puppet bat that was on her staff that she was imbuing magic in.
comes to life, kind of.
And we get another face explosion kind of thing. Like
That happens later.
Oh,
right
okay,
now, right now it just mauls
chokes
him.
him out. Well, I think it like shoves part of itself down its throat, and he starts choking to
Yeah.
death.
I
And
mean,
then,
it's just you just see the back of the puppet like
shaking.
twitching.
Yeah, so it's not as good.
Hobgoblins-esque effects on that one.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
No, man. Well, despite your warning about splitting the party, they do actually get where they're trying to go. Ben finds Jenny still strung up in our next scene, but Stirba's right-hand man and Mariana are already there. Now, luckily for Ben, this werewolf dude is still caught in the throes of arousal and basically walks right into a silver bullet. And despite Mariana's fearsome reputation as a world-class hunter, she's so distracted by her new lover getting his head blown off that Ben is quickly able to stab her with a titanium knife. So that was surprisingly easy, but as Stefan makes his way into Stirba's inner chamber, we can tell from his extremely serious inner monologue that his part of the mission will be infinitely harder. And I love the classic exchange we get when the two lock eyes here.
Finally, we meet again.
For the last time.
Stefan, you never could resist me.
But can he resist her colorful laser beams?
Holy shit. The death of the two werewolves as Ben saves Jenny is hilarious.
It's so fast.
So quick. We've just gone through all of this ordeal and they couldn't put at least like a bit of a battle sequence together. I was really
Ben
disappointed.
couldn't win that. This is the only way he could do it.
I'm so disillusioned by that actor that I started just writing Sam down rather than Ben in my notes. I don't know how it happened, but it transitioned. Where I'm
Is his name wrong?
Yeah, I'm just like, this is so bad. I just started writing the name wrong. This weird sibling love shit is confusing me. She's able to like use her wizard powers to wrap him in some glowing light and sort of like almost like force pull him towards her.
Yeah, she's like beckoning him forward, being like, oh, Stefan.
And he's moving towards her. It seems like unwillingly, but also a little bit willingly. I don't know as they're talking about this. And we know why it's a little bit willingly, because what happens as she gets him close?
She her top off again? No, she doesn't, does she? No. Okay.
We see that in the credits.
Well, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this is all part of his plan. He's got to get close enough to kill her. And I asked a moment ago if he would be able to resist Stirba. Well, it turns out that he can. Probably because at various points she reverted back to looking like that old hag from earlier. But regardless, Stefan gets in real close and plunges his dagger right into her heart. And when he pulls it out, fluorescent light pours out of Stirba's torso, engulfing them both in what is at first pure energy and then flames. The two twirl around as the inferno rages, and that demon bat crawls out of that dead guy's head in what I thought was another enjoyable effect. Before long, the whole place is going up, but Ben won't be there to see it, as he quickly ushers Jenny back into the village, and finally, after stopping a local at gunpoint to ask for directions to the airport, back home. And that's where we see them, very much in love on Halloween night, when the buzzer sounds to signal the arrival of a trick-or-treater. Any guess on what this kid's costume's going to be, Noel? Or
Oh my goodness. Let's go back a second to that final battle. You said that Christopher Lee stabbed his D into her what?
No, he stabbed his dagger into her.
Okay. Come
on, man.
Like, there was some weird like brother-sister relationship stuff that was uncomfortable in there, and some really uncomfortable lighting effects as she exploded into that power. We do think that Ben and Jenny now happily together, I don't know, it was like 6 months later or something.
Some time has clearly passed,
Yeah.
but we're not sure how much.
On Halloween night, hear that knock on the door, and of course it's a little werewolf there.
Yeah, man.
What a good costume you have.
Yeah, this is confusing to me because they were fully expecting trick-or-treaters. They have candy, like, oh, trick-or-treater. But then as soon as this kid leaves, like, where'd this kid come from? As though it's odd there's a kid in the building. And Ben says it must be from across the hall. Some new neighbors moved in when Jenny was away. Why couldn't he be from a different floor?
Yeah, I don't
got
understand
this
it.
candy.
Like, people are clearly
Who were
going to
you
go through the
expecting?
building knocking on doors
Yeah,
on
man.
Halloween night.
It's very weird.
It's really confusing. They go knock on the neighbor's door to ask about this new kid.
No,
and-
they're inviting him in for a glass of wine. It'd be neighborly, Jenny says. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But after knocking on the door, meeting the gentleman who answers, and mentioning that his child just rang their buzzer, they receive the shock of a lifetime.
My child.
Yeah, the kid in the wolf outfit.
But I have no child. I am not married. I am a bachelor and live alone. Won't you come in?
A little later.
I hope so. I hope so.
So I have two questions. Who the fuck is this guy, and what is his deal?
He has to be from Transylvania, right?
He's got a European
He's got to
accent.
be one of the werewolf people. He looks like a priest, though. He's wearing a priest-like collar.
Yeah.
So is this a werewolf priest? I thought the religious people were the ones battling the werewolves. I'm very confused.
Why does he say he's a bachelor also? Why is that important?
He has to be if he's a priest.
Is he trying to hook up his own three-way? Only instead of sexy werewolves, it's him and Ben and Jenny?
Is that allowed?
I won't allow it. I don't like the idea. And they won't either, man.
We're right into the credits.
Well, I was going to say, Ben and Jenny retreat back to their apartment, and we hit the end credits, which is basically a music video of that new wave band from earlier playing the theme song with highlights of the movie cut in. Now, I was tempted to air quote the word highlights, but, and I'm not exaggerating here, considering they show the same shot of Stirba whipping her tits out at least a dozen times, I would say that, yes, highlights is appropriate. I give this end credit sequence 11 out of 10.
I laughed really hard because I'm watching the credits, like trying to take some notes.
Same.
And it was distracting that it was just almost a repeated cut of her, like one hand ripping her top off and her breasts falling out.
So many times.
I couldn't even count it. It was so many times.
Yeah, I'm sure it was over a dozen. I believe if you said 20. I don't know. I wasn't complaining. I was not complaining, I'll tell you that. What an odd choice. In just a series of odd choices.
Oh, God, yeah. I would say that's the definition of this film is odd choice. Like, if you wanted, like, one short description of this, Odd Choices is the name of the game.
Yeah, but you know what? Not an odd choice to include this in our podcast. Fucking great choice.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
Everyone who suggested this, great job by you. This very much belongs here.
Fun to do a follow-up to a movie we've already talked about, whether I remembered or not.
Yeah, man. And now we should probably find out how fun exactly you found this. By transitioning to our ratings, the way we always do is rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10 2 times. 1 to 10 for how bad it is, 1 to 10 for how enjoyable it is, and the goal is to find movies that are a 10 out of 10 on both scales, or what we call the Crit 20. And I will say that this movie is unbelievably, spectacularly bad. There is the extremely jumpy editing with the constant inserts and repeated use of shots that, again, I have to assume was done out of budget and necessity. Then there's the terrible acting and bizarre acting choices that make 99% of the characters in this seem like weird caricatures of humans instead of humans. There's the fact that everything about this, from the setting to the lore to the weapons they use to fight the werewolves, is all stuff for vampires and not werewolves. Like, I legit think the screenwriters wrote a vampire movie and the studio was like, we love the script, but vampires are played out. Keep everything, just make it werewolves instead. And then they fucking did it. Like... And how about the fact that in any shot that isn't one of the close-up inserts, the werewolves aren't werewolves at all. They're apes. Damn dirty apes. Like, these are not werewolf costumes, and the end result is so wildly and unconscionably shitty that I have to give this a 10 bad, even though a couple of the other practical effects, again, mostly involving heads, were decent. Like, on principle alone, I have this as a 10 bad. What about you?
I like that ape line. Way to pull that one out there. I, the entire time, felt like they were Yetis. I felt like we were watching the sequel to another...
Night of the Demon?
Yeah. That's what I thought this was. I thought this was a Night of the Demon sequel. Having forgotten we'd already watched The Howling, I thought we were calling back that movie. This movie is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really bad. The acting was top of mind. Ben was so atrocious. Jenny was terrible. All of the weird, creepy people, bad as well. Christopher Lee is clearly the only actor that should have been paid to be a part of this.
He's also phoning it in, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's not fully
doing
committed,
anything extra, no. I thought the story was very confusing. We jumped to a lot of things that didn't make sense. The pace of it was odd. At times it moved incredibly fast and hard to follow, and other times it felt really slow. I felt like the effects, particularly the light and magic effects, were atrocious. I thought the sound was overdone. The wipes were a challenge for me.
Yeah, how did I not mention the wipes?
And some of the effects, not that good. So I, like you, also had this as a 10 bad.
Yeah, man. But how enjoyable on a scale of 1 to 10 did you find this movie?
So there's some stuff I enjoyed. I thought that the pace was pretty good. Although I said it was kind of all over the place, it does keep moving. Like it's a sweet, like probably 120 before credits, right? Like 120, 125. I liked...
Sorry, not 120. That'd be 2 hours.
Sorry, yeah. Like 85 minutes.
Or like an hour 20
yeah,
if you want.
Yeah. I thought that the practical effects, particularly the face and head melting shit, was good and enjoyable. I like the setting they created. I like the insertion of that new wave band, even though it's ridiculous.
That so many times.
That was really fun.
Decent
for
song,
me.
good song.
I thought it had some fun gore and nudity as like a bad slasher film. It should.
Yeah.
And it felt like it hit those notes. So I did enjoy watching it. I gave it a 10 bad. It's not going to be a crit 20 for me. But I think I'm going to go as an 8. It was an 8 enjoyable. Something that I would probably watch again. I think if it was slightly less confusing.
Right.
And if the acting was just a tiny bit better, or like, I don't know, or there was a couple more just really ridiculous things that happened.
Sorry, you needed more ridiculous things?
I don't know.
How many ridiculous things do you need, man?
Yeah, the eye explosion was fun. There was, but it didn't have it for me. It didn't have the energy.
Okay, that's fair. For myself, basically, you can take everything I said about how unbelievably, spectacularly bad this movie is and just copy and paste that for why it's so enjoyable. No, like, thanks to the editing and the whole vampire ape thing, I did not know what the fuck was going on for most of this movie, but I could not look away. Even in the parts that were a little bit slower, people are just doing shit where I'm like, what the fuck? Why is this guy doing that? Why are they using these vampire weapons? Why is I just was like thoroughly invested the whole time because of the fucking weirdness. The acting was terrible, but even when Christopher Lee phones it in, it's great to see him on the screen. And speaking of great to see on the screen, this Sturba character clawed me right where I itch. Really, the only parts of this I almost didn't enjoy were Jenny and Ben, mostly because she doesn't bring a lot to the table, and he was just a complete dummy. But that, for me, became easier to laugh at as it went along, or like groan at in the way where you're enjoying yourself and you're almost embarrassed how much. Throw in some hilariously bad effects and a couple of decent effects and quite possibly the greatest end credit sequence of all time. And I'm going all the way to this one, man. I was in the 10 for enjoyable.
Oh my God,
it is a
Crit 20.
Oh,
yeah, man.
shit.
I really enjoyed this and I was totally in on it. 2 weeks in a row, or 2 episodes in a row. First Samurai Cop, and now this. We're on a bit of a roll here. At least I am.
Yeah, absolutely. It just didn't quite have that crit 20 energy for me.
No,
but good time. I
definitely
enjoyed it. What about this beer?
Okay, so I have had this before, but like yourself with the Howling, I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
As soon as I poured it out, though, and saw that it was not, in fact, hazy.
No, clear. Clear as the full moon during this lady's
Clear
birthday.
as the plot of this movie. It's just completely not.
Way clearer than that.
Yeah. So, I was a little less nervous, and then I drank it. I was like, oh, fuck, I've had this. This is tasty. It's, as pale ales go, it's hoppy enough, I feel, that people who like hoppy beers will enjoy it. But for myself, who is not a fan of hops, it goes right up to that borderline, and it stays on the enjoyable side. So, yeah, man, I'm fine with this beer. I would drink this beer again for sure.
Yeah, absolutely crushable. I had remembered wrong. I was thinking it was their hazy pale ale, but it is their like standard traditional American pale ale. So still has like a decent malt body, clean, like clear beer with though a well hopped finish. Definitely hoppier than some pale ales, but still, like you said, very palatable for people who don't love IPAs.
Yeah, so I would call this a winner by any stretch of the
Yeah, for
imagination.
both of us here. So this wizard wolf, just like Sturba in the movie, has made
Cast
us
a
both
spell on
pleased.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that.
There you go. As werewolves always do. So fucking weird.
What the fuck?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
You know what won't be confusing, though, is what we're going to be watching 2 weeks from now. We've had a series of movies now that have been a lot of audience requests and kind of like some weirder, like lesser known shit. But 2 weeks from today, we're going full speed ahead with a giant 90s blockbuster of a film, or would-be blockbuster. I forget if this did well or not. But a movie that I'm sure we all remember. 2 weeks from today, we're watching Cliffhanger.
Oh, fuck yes. Sylvester Stallone.
Haven't had a Stallone movie yet this year. Let's get one in there.
On the podcast. When you said full speed ahead, for a second, I was like, are we watching Speed?
Speed 2, Cruise Control?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
No, I'm excited. I have watched this several times. This
Well,
is
of course,
not,
it came out in the mid-90s.
Yeah,
this
is
is
my
your
wheelhouse, right? So this is not a movie I haven't seen before. I remember enjoying it tremendously. Maybe this is going to be another Congo for me, something that I just like really still enjoy. I don't know. I hope.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while either, but I seem to recall that the plot centers on like Sylvester Stallone having to stop some terrorists on a ski mountain.
Yeah, isn't it like some people steal
Or no,
a bunch of money?
mountain. I
think they steal a bunch of money and then their plane crashes and he kind of has to rescue and get out all of these villains from this thing while still keeping himself alive and not finding out the plot to it,
he's
right?
rescuing them, but they're going to kill him afterwards.
Well, because
he has
they
to,
don't want him to be a witness.
maybe
to
we're
this.
completely off and it's not.
I
that
don't know.
at
We'll
all.
figure this out, but yeah, I'm excited
Either way,
to see it.
you know what? A big movie with a big name actor should be enjoyable for folks. And many people have seen, probably more people have seen that than have seen this fucking shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so cliffhanger in 2 weeks' time. That'll be a good one. But before then, if you have not already, please follow us on social media at the BMB Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
Send us emails, thebmbpodcast@gmail.com.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you. And although we are winding down season 6, we're taking requests for season 7. If you have any ideas or suggestions, just like this glorious piece of shit that was suggested to us by many people, we'd love to hear them. So yeah, reach out, definitely. Thank you for joining us today for Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf. Hope to see you back here in 2 weeks' time for Cliffhanger. Until then, I'm Cooper.
And I'm Nolan.
And we'll see you next time on Bad Movies and Beer.
Keep those orgies hairy and magical.
She'll bring out the beast in you.